So landscape photography always surprises me a little bit. Hi my friends, nice to see you. Today I have a really special situation. When I think about it, most times I have a special thing for you, but however it is how it is. But in this week it's really a special situation, and I mentioned this already in one of my videos. You know, I have an IT and marketing company, and sometimes I have lots to work and sometimes it's extreme. And I had such really busy days last days, really hard days, and I don't want to complain. Obviously, I'm really grateful that I have work and an income, but the thing is, really hard days or even weeks reduce my inspiration, and this is not good for photography, obviously. And in this video, I want to show you how I manage such a situation, how I come into inspiration again. And there are two different ways how I manage a situation like this, and it depends on how hard the days were or how tired I feel. So if I didn't have all too much sleep and I feel I'm not able to concentrate to build up compositions, I just go out and inhale the landscape, inhale the nature. I try to reconnect to the nature. And I made already a video about this. It was around 2 months ago, I think. I thought when I filmed this video, I thought the video would be a fail, to be honest with you. But as I watched the video, I really saw that there is a really great message inside. So if you haven't seen it, I will link you above. It was a situation where I really was tired and it was so difficult to get inspired. It's really difficult, and in such a situation it's better you just go out and enjoy. With the camera, obviously I had a camera with me in that video, but today it's a different situation. I'm a little bit tired, I think it's normal, and I also think that such a situation like this today is really normal, and I'm sure each of you had such situations already in life, so I only want to show how I manage it, because I think I really found out a great way how to manage it. So what did I do the last days? I had a really big and complex project for IT. So this means my brain is full with IT stuff in the moment. I did my last step 15 minutes ago for the project. So my brain is really full with IT stuff in the moment. And I have to swap out these thoughts and swap in the photography thoughts. So I'm really full with IT stuff, as you see. But however, I think you know what I mean. And the first step, it's really important. It's always the same, doesn't matter how tired I am. The first step is always that I try to get reconnected with the nature and that I enjoy it. And if I feel I'm not all too much tired, that I am able to build up a composition, I also work on compositions. And today I feel that I'm able, I hope that I'm able to build up compositions. I think it should work. So just for the reason, if I should be too tired and I would fall asleep, or let's say it in other words, there's a bell icon below. So if you click on it, I think maybe I would not fall asleep so easy. So as already mentioned, the first step is to get reconnected with the nature. And yeah, it's something like I'm really away with the thoughts in the moment. So I really have to repatch my synapses, you can say it like this, and reboot the system afterwards. And you know, a really important part of photography for myself, a really important element, are emotions. I'm absolutely convinced that emotions are the key for really great photographs. And what I try is when you know, we always have different kinds of emotions in our life. And when we have really stress in our job or whatever, maybe, we also have lots of emotions. So in this case, maybe it could be that I fear that I have overseen anything on my project, so that I that there's a mistake inside and it has an impact and a fear maybe. I have a little feeling of fears, and these emotions will drive my photography today. So usually, you know, we try not to get wrapped up all too much when we have negative emotions, but I do even exactly the opposite of that. I try to boost my emotions because, yeah, I'm convinced it's not only positive emotions what make good photographs. I think even negative emotions can add to composition in the one hand and in the other hand. And days like this, and this is the very important thing here today, in my experience, on a day like this, I have really high chances to have a transition from a negative emotions. They are not all too negative in a moment, obviously, but there are some maybe, and I want to try to get a transition from a negative emotions to positive emotions. And such a transition, in my experience, there's so much energy I get back. This is the one thing. I get relaxed through it. I enjoy it. And this energy can also be used to put into my photography. So when I find a composition today, it could get something fantastic, but it should not be so easy. I do one additional thing today. You know, my comfort zone is more vista photography of mountains, of lakes and so on, waterfall photography. And today I'm here in a local woodland. It's a nice forest, but it's not my special area in landscape photography. And I think this situation allows me to think about my photography today in an absolutely different way. And this could help me to see the things maybe through different eyes. Maybe it will boost my creativity, and this is what I want to try today. So I'm not sure if I will find anything today. I were happy if, but it weren't the biggest problem if it shouldn't be. So let's see what I can get today. So meanwhile, I found the composition. It's really fantastic. And I want to be honest with you, I'm here ready for around an hour. So it was really tricky to find the composition, to build it up. And finally, I'm really happy with it. I just came along here, you know, here are so many trees up there when you look up there. So it's really fantastic. And finally, I spotted this tree trunk there. So it is nicely framed through these trees beside, and this looks really fantastic. The tree at the right leans a little bit to the left, and the left one leans a little bit to the right. And what's really fantastic here, behind this tree trunk, I will try to go a little bit more down that you can see this. You can see that we have two other trees what lean to the other direction. So this is a fantastic contrast. And what I also really love is, I tilt up my lens, so I'm set up here. I don't shoot down or something like this. Usually in woodland it's not the best idea to tilt the lens up because of the highlights what you get up there, but today it's a really overcasted day and all the clouds up there work like a big softbox and they bring all the foliage up there to glow, and this looks really fantastic. And so I bring all the foliage up there softly to glow through the sunlight, with the soft sunlight up there. And I also have the balance down here because I have also all these greens here down here on the ground, and this looks really pretty good. And we have also this subtle color contrast between all the greens up there and the browns and reds of the trees. So it looks really pretty good, and I'm really happy with this composition. And to be honest, I found it really early. I didn't expect to find such easy a composition on a day like that. So landscape photography always surprises me a little bit. I'm really happy with this composition. And from the technical side, what I do is here I try to use a circular polarizer. I always have a look through the polarizer what it does. And here at all these leaves, at all this foliage up there, it takes the glare a little bit away, what is really fantastic. I get out a little bit more saturation because everything here is wet. It rained a little bit overnight, also yesterday, and this looks really pretty good. So I'm really happy with this composition. It's absolutely amazing. So let's make the click. And to be honest, the goal of today was not to get a really great composition out of it. The goal of it was just to get creative, just to reconnect to the nature and to get inspired again. And it's absolutely amazing. I didn't expect that it will go so fast today. I hoped and I expected that I will come into inspiration again, and I hoped that I would find maybe a place, maybe one or two potential places where I could come back and take a really great photograph. And also the conditions of today for woodland photography, it's overcasted. These are not the best conditions for woodland photography, but anyway, I'm happy with it. So I think I will go a little bit more into that direction, and maybe, not sure, I find a place where I can come back afterwards, or maybe where we also could take a photograph today. So let's go. It's absolutely incredible. 15 minutes later I found another composition, or even two compositions. Let's say I found another spot with two possible compositions, and when I came along down there at this path, I spotted this tree here with this amazing curve here. So this is a thing what I fear what I can't shoot today because the conditions aren't right for that. And so when I came up here, I spotted this group of trees here. They look really fantastic, and I think there is composition possible, but the only problem is we have the sky back there in our composition. In our first spot, I also think the first spot was the stronger composition, to be honest. In the first composition we had the advantage that we had lots of foliage up there and it held the highlights back. But in this case we get the sky into the frame, and this doesn't really add to the composition, to be honest. But what I try now is, I also found this fantastic leaf, or not really leaf, it's a baby tree or something like this. I'm not really sure, I'm not a botanics expert, but it looks really fantastic, these lush greens here, and we are in the end of the spring already, through a transition of summer. So we have really these fantastic greens here, and this looks really amazing. And I thought, let's take this fantastic baby tree down there as our subject, and the composition will tell the story about this baby tree, or whatever it is, I'm not sure, living here in this forest. And we see lots of other trees back there. I tried to hide this tree there, what originally was planned for my composition, for the bigger composition, what's not possible today. But I tried to hide this one, that the composition gets more simple. Simplicity is really an important part for building up the composition. I will crop it from the top a little bit so that we don't get all too much sky into it. I fear it will not be possible to avoid it 100%. I'm not sure about it in the moment, to be honest. The moment I just enjoyed to be here and that I found already my inspiration again. And this is the most important thing for today, because originally I planned that I come here, enjoy the nature, find some places maybe, and maybe tomorrow or the day after I could come back, also when the conditions are better or whatever. I'm not sure if we would get the condition the next day for this composition here, because I think I would need at least hard rain or snowfall or fog or something like this, that we get no sky into the photograph and that it gets more soft back to the distance. However, I'm really happy with this composition here, and I don't use a polarizer here. I also tried here, it doesn't really add here, so it doesn't make sense to use it. I struggled a little bit with my camera position, to be honest. I have to go really low for this one, so I'm at the lowest possible point here. I also tried my Gorilla Bot instead of my tripod, but the Gorilla Bot was a little bit too small, so it didn't really work here. But however, it's a great composition. And so also when the conditions are not the best today, let's make the click. It's really interesting. You know, usually I always think about landscape photography. So at breakfast, I think about what could I photograph next days, how would the weather come out and so on. And also at lunchtime, so when I'm in my office and do IT or marketing projects, whatever, I think about landscape photography, and I also plan my next trips, think about my compositions, I have a look at my photographs, I think about what could I do better and so on. So this really works fantastic. I'm really happy with this entire situation. But when I come away from landscape photography, maybe for a week or for some days, I always feel to get uninspired then. So when, let's say, I've finished the project, I'm at home sitting on my couch and thinking about what should I photograph today. And I'm sure this is a situation which every one of us had already. So you could comment below if you had already a situation like this. I think you had. If not, just tell me. And also if you had. But however, I find it's really a fantastic way just to go out, inhale the nature. And sometimes it's really a present today that I just jump in. Usually I take a little bit longer to get into inspiration again, some hours or something like this. And also, if you didn't see all too much in this video today, I'm already here for 4 hours. So the time goes and goes. It's absolutely amazing. But however, I think I will try for one more spot. It's already noon in the moment, so I always forget the time when I'm out for photography, and when I feel a little bit of getting hungry, I know that the time went faster than I thought. So I think whenever you come in a situation like this, that you come away from landscape photography for a week or doesn't matter how long, always try to reconnect first. And also if it doesn't work immediately, doesn't matter. Give it time, and if it doesn't work the same day, try it a day or 2 days after. The really important thing is that you enjoy it. This is really the essence of landscape photography. So I will look a little bit more into that direction now, and there's a little hill back there, and so I think it's a little bit easier with the light. Not sure if there's anything to photograph, but we will see. So let's go. So I found one more composition, and it's absolutely amazing. I really didn't expect to find anything today, to be honest. I hoped to get inspired, but I never expected to find really great compositions, and also in an area what is not my special area. So I got out of my comfort zone. It's incredible. I don't have words for this. However, I want to show you what I found, and you will never guess what I found here. It's absolutely amazing. So look here. I found these amazing tree trunks, what built verticals here. I'm not sure why. Obviously there were trees what fell down. I thought already maybe anyone has put them there, but it doesn't look like that. So the tree back there, for example, it looks that it growed like that, or that it felt and didn't fall totally. So it really looks amazing. There are the roots of the tree there, and the tree is still here. It looks like a dead tree, to be honest. It doesn't have branches or anything like this, and it stops up there. And also here we have a little tiny vertical up here, and also this vertical down there. I'm not sure why so many vertical trees are here, and this looks really fantastic. And also here another tree trunk here, what's crossing here, and it really looks a little bit that anyone has put it as it is, but however, it looks amazing. And I thought about building up the composition here, what I did already. We have another vertical, by the way, more in that direction, and this one goes into that direction. This was an important thing for me to get also this one in my frame. So when we have a look here, let me show you my composition. We have this amazing vertical tree here, and it's surrounded by all these diagonals, and it looks really pretty good. We also have a little fern down there. It will lead us a little bit into the scenery, but I'm not really 100% happy about that these two tree trunks here, or these two trees, whatever, are at the same layer. They are at the same distance to our camera, so it would give a little bit more dynamic when the diagonal would be a little bit more to us. I could change it, obviously, but this is not what I want to do in photography, in landscape photography. So when I want to take a photograph here, it could be that when anything distracts here on the ground, maybe there is a stick or anything like this, that I put it away. There's nothing wrong with this. It were also nothing wrong to change things, but it doesn't feel right to me. So to be honest, it's my way how I do photography, and I want to let it how it is. And what I really love in the moment is it will start to rain a little bit later, maybe in a few minutes, maybe in half an hour, whatever. And so the light turns really fantastic back there. I'm not sure if you can see this with the camera, but we are here in the shadow, and we have a fantastic contrast here to these highlights back there. And this is really difficult to photograph in woodland, to be honest. I mentioned this already before. We photographed straight into the sky, and I'm even not sure if this really worked. You saw the photograph already. It's a little bit easier here, although we also have really high contrasts here. So, however, I'm really happy with the composition. I also use a circular polarizer here, also to get out the contrast a little bit better and to get rid of a little bit of glare. That's not the biggest problem, it's more for a saturation here. So I'm really happy with this composition, and in the moment I can't believe what I found today. It's really amazing. So let's make the click. What a fantastic day. It's absolutely amazing. I really felt so uninspired when I was at home before I went out, and I really didn't know what to photograph, and I'm so happy that I finally went out here and tried to find anything, enjoyed the nature and came into connection again. And this is so important. I really enjoyed this day. I hope you also enjoyed this video. If yes, please give it a thumb up. Share this video with your friends, maybe on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. I were really happy about it. It would help me to grow this channel, and I'm really sure also the people you will share the video with will also be really happy about. Subscribe to my channel if you didn't have already. So thank you so much for watching. See you next Saturday. Thank you. Bye. So I'm not sure if you can see them. I can't see them here in the display, to be honest. Where are they? I can't see my composition. Where is it? Why can't I see the composition? I've never had a problem like that, to be honest. Oh, here is it.